Hello, everybody, and welcome to my ranking of every person who was a champion in the WWE from January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. This will be a multi-part series culminating on the 31st. In case there are any more champs, I'll throw them in there too. But for now, we're just going to be looking at the current champions. This is being recorded on a Monday, so champions may change hands tonight on Raw, but it's unlikely, so I thought I would get this done now. So we have all of the current champions. We have Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Gunther, Logan Paul, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, Io Sky, and Rhea Ripley. So we're going to be ranking them on these tiers here from S all the way down to D. S is for the greatest champs currently. This reign has been immaculate. A is for pretty good champs. Like, I'm very pleased with this reign. B is for pretty, okay. You're an okay champion. I have no real good or bad on you. C is for champs. You're not great and not even good. You're just kind of whatever. You're there. And last we have D, which is for a bad champion. This reign is not good. So we're going to start off in backwards order with the tag champions. So we're going to start off with Piper Niven and Chelsea Green first up. So this reign has been very forgettable. Nothing's really happened in it, and they have barely defended the titles, only twice as of this recording. So it's been an uneventful run with minimal actual matches, but the promo segments have been fun enough, and the Halloween dress-up was cool. So we're going to put them in B, average. Then Finn Balor and Damian Priest, I'm actually going to put them on the same tier. I think as performers, Finn and Damian are clearly more talented. However, this specific reign has felt just there. Yet again, they barely defend the titles, and they're too wrapped up in other storylines to have storylines about the titles. They have a match against the Creeds tonight, and honestly, I don't care if the Creeds take it from them. Would not mind. Next up, we have the current United States champion, Logan Paul. This reign is also going to go in B. There's a lot of them in there. And this reign, we don't really know much about it yet. We know that Logan beat Rey Mysterio. That's his only match so far. And there's a tournament to determine who will face, presumably at the Rumble. That's almost inevitably going to be Kevin Owens. But, so what? We've seen video promos of him every once in a while on SmackDown saying, oh, this competitor will easily get beaten by, Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, his pals. But otherwise, we haven't really seen him much other than him announcing the tournament. So, B, very average, don't know much yet. Gunther, well, I don't really need to talk much about this. It's an S. Had some of the greatest matches of the year in both this year and last. Incredibly talented, gotten better on the mic as the year has gone on, and the ring work is just immaculate all the time. There's no real improvement or disprovement. So, always going to be an S for me. Next we have Rhea Ripley, and this is honestly one of the worst title reigns of the year. I'm going to be putting it in D for disappointing, because it's felt like nothing, and it is nothing. There is nothing going on with this title reign. It's Rhea Ripley as champion. She's basically a watered-down Roman Reigns. She's been champ for, a reasonable amount of time. Doesn't really defend it that much. When she does, it's just squash matches. Her longest 2 matches were with Raquel Rodriguez, and they were both 15 minutes, give or take. Other than that, almost all of them have been 11 minutes or shorter. I think 3 of them were between 7 minutes and 11, and the rest have all been shorter, which is just obscene. Like, I get it. You're trying to put X over Y. If I get 2 of my figures real quick. If I've got Rick, and I have MJF, and I have Rick beat MJF in 2 seconds, every week, it makes Rick boring, and it makes MJF look terrible. So it doesn't work. But nonetheless, she should be defending her title more, getting actual competitive matches. One of the few exceptions to that squash match rule was the Fatal 5-Way, because it was not just Rhea one-on-one. But nonetheless, bad title reign. Next we have Excuse me. Next up, we have Io Sky. This reign's actually going to get an A from me. I actually really like it. I think that Io has made herself look very good in this reign. And not like she was bad before, but it makes her look even more talented than she already was, I guess. You can see, okay, she's actually a credible world champ. When she won the title at SummerSlam, people were thinking, oh, she's just going to hold it so Bianca can get a 4th title reign. Whatever. And now she's still champion. And it's almost 2024. It's 2 weeks until 2024 as of recording date. And it's pretty good. She's had pretty solid matches all around. The match with Bianca at Crown Jewel was so-so. But talent and expertise from all competitors, herself, Damage Control, and her opponents included, has really put Io in a great place as champ. Next up we have Seth freaking Rollins. Seth, I think, has a very... I think he's a little lower than Io. I think his matches have been equally as good, if not better. But he's been champ for a little longer. And a big facet of Triple H storytelling is, okay, everybody, we're going to start this story here in May of 2017. We're going to end it in about March of 2019. Like, every story he tells is 1 bazillion years long. And that means you're going to have really long title reigns, which I'm not that much of a fan of. I prefer, like, at least one belt that is consistently changing hands. But currently there's no title that's really felt that way. Even the U.S. title, Ray won it from Austin after 1 bazillion years of Austin as champ, and then lost it just so Logan could be champ. It's weird, but that doesn't have any effect on Seth's reign. It's still really good. Lastly, we have your tribal chief. Have you acknowledged him today? Roman Reigns. Obviously, Roman's been champ for 3 bazillion years. And he's been dominant. He's been winning. Technically he hasn't won all the time. But in pinfall fashion, he's won all but once. Or submission. And that's really good. But if you look back at this year, let's just take a glance back. 2023 for Roman Reigns. Okay, you have 5 title defenses in the whole year. Okay, that's not great. You should have more than that. But, that's once every 2 months, give or take, a little more than that. So, okay, that's not that bad. And then you factor in, 3 of those were in the span of 4 months. Oh, so he had 2 in the span of the last 8 months of the year. Yeah. So that's 1 every 4 months. How nice. That's quite a big gap. So when was his last title defense? Oh, it was back in November. Oh, that's really recent. When before that? August. Yeah, August. So from September to December, we had 1. You can have 5 title defenses in a year. That's fine. But they need to be spread out. Your minimum should be 8. And even then, they should be spread out. If you have a 12-month calendar, you got January, February, defense. March, defense. April, defense at WrestleMania. Defense. And then you defend for the rest of the year or something. Every month. Now, maybe not every month. You can take a month or 2 off. But you need to be at least on TV. You don't even need to defend the title. You can just be on TV. And Roman, he's not that. SmackDown, the brand he's on, has not had a consistently there world champion in 18 months. A men's world champion. It's disappointing, really. And for that, I'm going to put him in C. I'm not going to put him as bad as Rhea's, because Rhea's... At least Roman puts effort into his matches. I'm not saying Rhea's a slacker, but when you have a Roman match, it's 20 to 30 minutes. When you have a Rhea match, it's less than 7. So at least Roman is putting in the time when he does eventually show up. If you take a glance, matter of fact, at Roman Reigns here, and we take a little look right here. Matches. So we have all these, and we also have live events, and Roman and Rhea both do defend quite often on live events. However, if we're looking just at broadcasted shows, well, he's had quite a few matches, but let's just look at singles matches that he's defending the title in, and that's pretty abysmal there. And this would be cool, you got 20 minutes, 32, 34, 36, 20. That's pretty good. That's good, 20-minute-ish or more matches. But then you look at the quality of those matches, and then it's a little more diminished. The match against Kevin, I barely remember, except for the ending, which was obviously amazing. Sami Zayn was a great match. Cody was a pretty good match. Terrible ending. And then Roman and Jay was just atrocious. The rules of the match didn't really, apply. They were kind of weird. It said before, no interference, and then Solo interfered immediately, and it was really bad and bungled, and then Jimmy interfered and confused everybody, and it was an awful match. And then the match against LA was one of the most stereotypical matches you could have ever had. So it's a really disappointing showing by your world champ. So to recap, for our current champs, we have Gunther in S tier, Io and Seth in A tier, Logan, Piper, Chelsea, Finn, and Damian in B tier, Roman in C tier, and Rhea in D tier. We'll be moving on to a few of the earlier champions in 3 to 4 days, hopefully, and I will get back to you then. Otherwise, make sure to have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk, good whenever you're watching this, and goodbye.